Hello, everyone. My name is Karen from Quantum Healing with Tina and Karen, and I'm here solo, clearly. Just wanted to come on to talk about things that I'm going through at this moment. I feel like it's pertinent to share since I've been sharing a lot of my healing with all of you. And so just want to give a little bit of an update. I don't remember exactly what day it was, but it was several months ago when I had come on. It's the video where I was showing my little rap cards that I used to collect when I was 8 years old. So that video was when I had first spoken about me being, having like narcissistic tendencies in terms of when I'm a parent more so, and how it affects my children, specifically my son. So I just want to give an update about how that's going so far. Um, I felt like very much called to do a lot of the work. I started out with the reading of that book that I had shown about complex PTSD, and that had helped a lot in order to gain perspective and what I should do. I started doing a lot of affirmations, in order to speak to the inner child. What I came to actually conclusion or my approach towards it was to address the inner child inside who had experienced C-PTSD. That being said, when you are dealing with C-PTSD, you are probably going to deal with multiples, thousands of subpersonality parts that may be very similar, almost like a paper doll, like that opens up. That's what it feels like to me. I think that's one of the understandings that I've had, especially when I had come down to healing specific subparts that would come up and come forward, specific ages, for example. What I noticed was that they just kept coming up again. Same themes, same feelings of shame or feelings of not being enough, or there's something wrong with her, that kind of thing. That kept coming up over and over and over again. So it made me wonder what that was all about. And then, of course, like it finally clicked. You suffered from the same thing over and over again. So it's not always going to be the same subpart coming up. It's going to create a new subpart every time that occurred and occurred and occurred and occurred. So I had done a lot of healing in that way, like reading, especially reading, kind of opened up the portal for the healing part and understanding it more on a mental level, getting support, feeling like more connected inside so that I could really hone in on the feelings that were coming forward. There was a lot of feelings that had come out. Again, the shame, riddled, riddled, riddled in shame. The shame was really like the absolute worst of it because I can't sleep, like when you're feeling so much stress in your body and you have all that shame and you have no solution or you don't feel good about yourself. I was really concerned that, I'm really going to fuck this child up. I'm responsible for that. I will never live with myself if I'm the one who shattered his spirit. That's just like the one thing that the kids, we always say they grow up so fast and then eventually like we take for granted that they're here and then the next minute they're out and they never want to be home again. And I don't want that to happen. Like I want to maintain a strong and stable relationship with my kids. And so I was really gung ho because this is like the one thing I feel is like my really the biggest challenge of all because of how easy it was for me to just get so emotionally triggered or like have that emotional flashback come up, especially during moments of triggering. So I would get triggered the most like when the kids would get ready in the morning, when they're doing homework and projects. I felt that so much in my body, the stress of it, um, and not like all old conversations or like old voices of like say my parents or my grandparents that were telling me to hurry the hell up. You gotta get there on time. Why are you so stupid? A lot of negative self-talk was there. Or they had given me the voice for the negative self-talk rather. That's more clear. And so by that, when the kids would trigger me, they would trigger an inner child that had experienced that, conversation of being you're too slow or you got to be on time, like really drilling it. And then that would create a body reaction, like a really fast one, like as if a tsunami went, and then already my mouth is already yapping, like hurry up, like that kind of stuff. Catching it is another thing, like really being able to catch it before I'm already vomiting the words out. Because by the time the words are out, the energy of that stress or anger or whatever rage that I'm feeling in that moment it's already out. It's gone. And then and then the shame just like fills me, and it's not pretty. Um so catching the feelings, I felt like the next step after like reading a bit of the book, more motivated, like because the feelings were there. I did the CTT, which is the consciousness tapping technique. So I would tap and address all the emotions that were coming through, all the feelings, all whatever I thought of myself in that moment, allowing for the body to express itself. So I did a lot of crying. I got a lot of release in that way. A lot of being real with the words that I would describe myself. So none of them were really positive, but I felt like I just needed to say it in order to get it out there. That way there's no hidden words or like little things in there that are hiding in the cracks. So I did tapping to release that from the body for quite some time. And then it was really presence. Presence was really a big one to come back fully and complete in the body, because when you're in a state of shame and whatever it is, for me at least, I had a tendency to dissociate and get out because it was too painful to feel that all of that. So being present in it and being able to catch it was good. And so I was able to apply that with my being in the presence of my kids, being able to talk myself through it. You need to have a buddy system with yourself, and being able to talk yourself through it, like everything's going to be okay. So every time I would have to pick them up, I would take a couple of breaths and be like, it's going to be okay. We're going to do one thing at a time. If you don't understand the homework or you feel frustrated, we don't have to finish it. We could just put a star next to it and we'll deal. Um, if we're late, we're late. I mean, what can we do? We're never late, by the way. But if we're late, it's not a big deal. You don't have to push. You don't have to traumatize them. You don't have to traumatize yourself again. And so that practice, I mean, it was a rough start. There were some days, like pretty much the pattern, just to paint a picture, was it would happen several times in a day. Several times in a day. And then after I started to really commit to looking at my shattered parts, fragmented parts, or fractalized parts, I think that's the word. I wanted to, see what the process was. I would really beat myself up. I would always tell myself, tomorrow's a better day, tomorrow's another day. It's okay, forgive yourself. Like I was really adamant, like you have to forgive yourself. And it helped a lot. I was able to see results as time went. So from the several times a day to the tone getting better, being more verbal, but not like a slap verbal. And then that slowly becoming more like the tone again, continuous tone was getting at a level where I wasn't feeling shameful for it. And the harmony that would occur within the household was getting better. So, the amount of outbursts or the points in which I would stress out were becoming less and less and less, to the point where I had a fabulous day with the kids. And I really felt like that was a win. But then all these like things just started happening right after that. Not necessarily with the kids, but like with sessions that were still triggering like the fractalized parts inside. So it did bring up a lot of other things coming out. So I felt as though I had done such a bulk of it, and then now it's like all of them are out and exposed. We had some intense sessions that were really difficult to come to process, especially during, like, I felt very ungrounded, very divided within myself. So I mean, you could see it all be, within a this vessel, but there was like splits and shoots, like of different pieces of myself everywhere. Uh, so, in a moment like that, you could kind of take it as like, whoa, that's not good. But I took it as an opportunity again to grow. I wasn't gonna bring myself down for that. I took an opportunity where my body is going to show me exactly what is happening or what I need. Listening to all the little parts that are coming out or feeling insecure. Usually they feel very insecure, scared, afraid. It is all about worthiness, not being good enough, feeling really stupid, feeling uneasy, not being able to trust. So there was a lot of that coming through. Um, And then with that being like happening after like all that months of work and seeing progress, I felt like I regressed a little bit in, with my kids again. So I was starting to get impatient again. I was starting to raise my voice again. And then I'm like, what the hell is happening? Like, I think like we're looking for perfection here. I speak for myself again. Looking for perfection, looking for like, why can't you just learn your damn lesson already? Why can't you just move on? The suffering is really difficult. I mean, we all know this. And it's being here in this matrix is and being human, that's part of the programming, that's part of the system. And how the question is, how well can we adapt, or how well can we live our lives with the suffering? It's bullshit, I agree, but it's still present. We are to some degree suffering, whatever reason it is. We're just trying to figure out ways in which we can, have quality of life here. I think that's the really important thing that we need to consider in this place. Um, so I saw that regression. I'm gonna call it's not regression. It's just the end of a cycle. And I felt like the period of it was really long, and I have to look and give myself credit for the the healing that was done in that period. And though I'm in a different like type of period of healing, it still affects me as the adult, me as in my now, me as in my roles here. And it affects my relationships, it affects who I am right now in this world. So I take responsibility for that. I just wanted to give that word of encouragement for those that are, who are just starting and not knowing how to start or what to do. I've come to a space where I have tons of tools, but it's still work. It's always work. It's always being able to recognize, being so aware of yourself that you cannot deny or even avoid what you're feeling or sensing or knowing about what's going on. You just feel it, that there's something off. And the moment you feel it, it's like, don't run, come back, because it's speaking to you. And you need to find out what it is so that you can start the process of nurturing yourself in that space that needs you. Maybe it could be an inner child, it could be your ego. I mean, these are all like relative things. It could be your body screaming, it could be anything. So yeah, it's I've been really fortunate to be where I am and be able to share this on our platform, because it can be a really lonely road where I feel bad, like always, like I feel like I've been complaining a lot, like a lot. And it's a lot, it's really toxic. It can get really toxic because of how much or how consumed you are in your energy of where you're at. It's just, again, it's not really you, you're just expressing it. But again, to be aware of the energy that you're bringing out, being aware that um, you need to have an outlet. So sometimes it's probably better to write it out. Maybe do a YouTube video like this. Um, but to know that, again, it's not all you. You can bitch about it all you want, but you got to do something about it. That's the bottom line. Because sometimes, yes, we do need to vent, but we need to do something about it. If you keep venting and it's 10 days already now, it's like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? So I'm gonna leave that with you here. Just a little progress, like I said. Um, I don't know if you learned anything from this. We'll see. No, I have to listen back and see. So I just wanted to say I appreciate you all for being here, for following me alongside my journey of healing. Where I'm at right now, it has been a tough road, excuse me, in acknowledging. Tina doesn't like it when I call myself a narc mom. I guess in order to really fully hold the title of narcissist, you have the inability to heal or to be self-aware. But it took me some time for me to acknowledge it. So I mean, I was to a certain point one, and I take myself and hold myself accountable for that. So I'm healing. I want it. I really want it so bad, and I feel as though, like, this is not for me to I don't know, hold me back, but it's here to propel me forward. As much as we say suffering, we shouldn't be learning from suffering. Like, we shouldn't, like, suffering just is a stupid fucking concept. But I mean, in order for me to have quality of life here, I have to own it. And so I have to learn how to take care of myself and therefore take care of the inner child inside, and that will reflect outward into my adult self and fulfill all the roles that I have here in this space. So I hope that it helps my kids, and I hope that it helps you to some degree. And let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this video, please like it. And if you want to subscribe, thank you. And if you feel like you want to share it, I appreciate it. So we'll see you again, and hopefully Tina will be here on the next video. So that's it. Sending you all my love, and I'll see you again next time.